Hi, we're recording now, and I absolutely haven't missed any for those of you. No, I'm joking. I'm just recapping, but we're talking about setting intentions and working out your goals, realistic ones and long-term goals, and putting in plans to get to it. And I was just also saying, Emily and Tim are going to be joining our call at some point this evening, so we're excited to welcome them. Hi, Jenny. Oh God, I'm so distracted with when I'm not very good at multitasking, as you can all see. So what I was saying, for example, we'll just take anybody. It's a hypothetical situation. Whereas if you are, let's say, going for Premier, that rank, obviously you guys need to know exactly what it is that you need in your downline to achieve Premier. Or, please know that you take this and put it in whatever rank that you want to achieve. And then fill in the gaps, basically. So for Premier, know for a fact you need your 2 legs with qualifying people at the top who have done your LRP spend of 100 PV or more, that you personally have enrolled, and there needs to be 2,000 volume below them. But you also need the extra 1,000. So that's for Premier. And you maybe where you are now, you've just hit elite. So it means you've got 3,000 volume floating around below you, which is amazing. It's a huge achievement. And then it's about working out how to get that volume in those 2 legs, make sure it is in those 2 legs. And as you probably all know, we always educate and advise people to grow those 2 legs anyway from the beginning, because you will hit elite anyway. And so it's about working out how you fill in that gap. How do you make up that extra 2,000 volume from elite to Premier and get it all in the right place? Is it that you have a builder on one of those legs, and are they reliably enrolling? Are they doing classes? What is it that you can do to help them as their upline? What is it that I can do to help them as their other upline? We're all in this together, and always ask. If you don't get an answer from one, keep asking up your upline list and someone will help you. So yeah, then you come back, you've asked the question, is there a builder under there? And you've identified if, do they need any help from you? And they probably will, to be honest. We always all need help, and it's great. It's great to have other people's input into our business. But then there's the side that you have got to take on for yourself. And so any rank, always, throughout this whole process, is about always doing your pipes, always finding people, always inviting people, always running your classes. There should never be really, maybe August in my case, where you're not doing classes, not talking to people about oils, not actually, doing these activities. And then the beauty of this is if you are in control of that yourself and you are bringing in your own volume, you can really take ownership for your doTERRA destiny. It's a bit cheesy when you say it like that, but you really can. You have absolute influence. You have your legs, and if they're missing 500 or 600 PV at the end of the month on that leg, and you've got those 3 enrollments, bang, in it goes, and you can rank advance. And it sounds really easy when you say it, I know that, but when you're doing this repeatedly and you have set that goal, set that intention, and you completely know your books, know your legs, know where your weaknesses are, and you can identify it, and you offer help and support, or you do your own classes and pile it in, then like I said, that's the beauty of this business, and it will keep working for you and will keep growing. And then in the flip side is if you are stuck in a rut or not going rank advancing, then it is a case that somewhere along those lines, something out of what I've just been saying isn't working for you. And so again, use your team, use your uplines, like I've said, use them, all of us. We're here to help. We've all been there as well, and probably are still there at some times. But also then you are going to start forging relationships with your cross line, as in your I always call them my wingmen. You've seen some of them on Emily and Tim's calls. They're not in my team, but we work together a lot. We collaborate, we do stuff, we really learn. So it's great. Hi, Karina. Just seen you join. Hi. So does that make sense? Does that sound... And so the reason why I'm talking about it now, obviously, is because there's going to be a big push from doTERRA and from within our team. I'm really like using this time right now for me personally, moving into the October-November period. I'm using this as planning. I'm looking at booking in as many events, fairs, festivals. Some of you have heard me say 1,000 times, my little motto is say yes to everything and work out the logistics later, because again, you're fueling your fire with this. You're meeting more people, and it might not be that particular event has brought in 7 enrollments for you. It might not be, but that's, you know, a list of 20 people to add into your database. That, I mean, I was saying today to somebody that actually I just enrolled somebody last month who I met at a fair 3 years ago, and all she's done, I've sent her a couple of samples over the time, but then just left her because she never was really seeming very interested. But she's been on my monthly newsletter list every month, so she's received it, and it's that's all she's had. And she just suddenly came out of the blue and said she wanted a kit. So I was like, oh my God, this is brilliant. And so, yeah, again, I was talking to some of my friends and colleagues in this and discussing the fact that it is a real cycle, and that maybe something that you're doing now will benefit you in a year's time, or maybe 9-10 months time. And you just don't know it now. You don't feel it now. And it might feel like a bit of a grudge now. But trust me, it just keeps on flowing, and it's all about that flow. Has anyone got any questions on my rant? No. Okay, so then I've already talked about this a little bit and touched on, if you're going, you know, working towards a rank advancement, or working, you know, setting your intentions. Let's choose silver now as an example. We've talked about Premier. So again, you know what you want to achieve. You should know that very intimately, where you're missing volume and how much. And then you reach out to your builders on those legs, or your placements, or your sharers. And so it's always looking for people who might host a class in those particular legs that you have got, that are your qualifying legs. Okay, so maybe it's I've just put out in my newsletter today, for example, that I'm running a special promotion for the next 2 months only, October and November. Anybody wanting to host a class, then they'll get a free diffuser. I'm not telling you all to do that by any means, but it might be worth thinking of something that you might want to offer out to try and get people to host classes, because I always look at them, as lots of you already know, I look at them as a real kind of freebie in terms of people. It's an amazing opportunity in this business. So I'm kind of doing classes, hosted classes and events, and it's going to be crazy busy, but that's all good. So yeah, that's one thing that you can be looking at. And then, like I said earlier, talk to your team in those legs below and your qualifying legs where you've got, you know, maybe if you're missing 1,000 volume, speak to that builder and then go through, like we've just talked about for yourselves, go through it with them and just touch base with them so you understand what it is that your person, your downline, your enrollment, what they want to achieve for them. And when, for example, what rank do you want to achieve? How much money do you want or need to earn with this? What is your intention there? And it's a really good activity to do, and so that you can all be on the same page and you can offer that help and support and make a real plan as well for them. So it may be that they want to hit elite, for example, and so if their volume's hovering around about the 1,500 or 2,000 mark, then you can work out with them the actual logistics of, okay, so we've got 20 days left of the month. I'm just using this month as an example. And you're missing 1,000 volume. So that's like 10 enrollments. So is it 10 enrollments? My head's really fried tonight, but you know what I mean. Work out what they're missing, work out how many people they need to kind of reach out to. Can you help them? Can you offer to go and do a class with them? Can you offer, do you know somebody on their downline? Can you ask them to host a class? Thanks Charlie, 5 homes. I knew it wasn't 10. It's 10, 10 family essentials, right? So yeah, you get my point. It's all literally, we're all in this together, and I feel, like I've said, I feel really excited about this sort of new phase, if you like. It's like a new period for, it's all about setting the new intentions in the new year, isn't it? Back in January. And I actually have that same sensation now after coming back after summer holidays and feeling quite energized and excited, and yeah, time to grow again. Are you on board? Yeah, look, Jenny, 2 natural solutions kit. 2020 vision, Charlie. I love it. I wish I did. I feel like I'm a bit squinty tonight. Yeah, there you go. And every oil kit. That'd be nice. Oh gosh. So yeah, this, as I keep saying, this isn't about us as individuals. This is about us as a team. This is about you guys and your team, and you guys and me. It goes both ways and crossways and all ways. And if you've got people who aren't even on our team who are doing really well, talk to them, find out what they do, and maybe share it with us. It's what I'm, I think it's all about just getting energy from where it works for you. Yeah? Has anyone got anything they want to add on that? Any experiences? Anyone got any good hosting tips? You're all silent tonight. I can see AJ's unmuted.
Not necessarily a good hosting tip, but I went to the cause thing in August, which was brilliant, and I had a really good chat with Adam Kopp about feeling stuck. And he asked me where I was stuck and immediately told me what my belief problem was. So really interesting. He was saying you can get to elite by being dumb and excited. If you just love products, anyone can get to elite, because all you do is like tell people how much you love the products and they want to buy them as well. And then he said you won't get to Premier until you love the company. And what's really interesting is when I went to Prague, I fell in love with the origin story of the company. I knew nothing about the company. I just knew the products until I went to Prague. But I came back from Prague and within 2 months hit Premier. And I've been stuck at Premier for like almost a year. Well, actually, it has been over a year. And he said, oh, that's because you hate MLMs. And I went, so, and he said, yeah, if you don't believe in MLM, you can't get to silver. And like, you're going to have to talk me through this. And he said, because you won't be introducing people to the company properly, and you won't be recruiting builders. You can build your own, you'll accidentally get some, but you won't be building a good structure with great strong builders. If you aren't willing to tell them how to get power of 3 and how to grow that, then you're just not really doing it properly. If you don't love MLM, you will get stuck at Premier. And I was like, you're so right. And so my homework from him is that I have to learn to love network marketing. So I've just been doing lots of research into that and trying to get my head around that this is a good business model. And it is.
I think that sounds like it rings true with so many people, KJ.
The thing is, it is true what he said. The thing is, I know why doTERRA chose the model, and I can see that it's perfect for our company, but I still have a little bit of shame about it because I know so many people who hate MLMs. And even though I think it's a good model and I think it's right for us, I'm scared to tell other people about it. And he said, you'll never get past silver until you're confident talking about network marketing. So that's my next milestone. I don't know if that's helpful for anyone else. If you're maybe stuck at elite and not able to get to Premier, then you need to maybe just do a bit more research about the company and fall in love with the company. But if you're stuck at Premier, maybe it's because you need to learn to love network marketing.
Wow, I think that sounds like really good advice. Here with Emily and Tim, I've just seen them. Great tips, KJ. Hi, guys.
Sorry.
You're there.
Well, half of the family.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Hi, Siggy. Hi, Emily.
Guys,
Hi,
how are you
everyone.
all?
Everybody's muted, but they're all here.
Nice
Hi, Tim.
to-
Here, there's Marius. He's showing his face now.
Oh,
can't hear
lovely.
you
Right,
very
I'm
well.
just going to sort Ziggy out. Otherwise, hang on one second and we'll be with you. Keep
Okay.
as you were. Give us
As you
1
were.
minute.
I like it. No, KJ, I think that advice that you just shared was absolutely fantastic. I don't think it's just Premier. I think it's just.
I can't take credit. Adam copped up it, but
Of course you can. No, that's really. I mean, I was so gutted not to go to that liver cause. I was away, but
it was brilliant. Like, definitely worth booking in for February if they've got any tickets left.
yeah, it's only limited, isn't it?
I think 120 spaces.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And what about, so just before Em and Tim, while they're sorting themselves out, it kind of leads in really nicely to another thing on my list, which was events, like doTERRA events. Obviously, there's loads coming up. For anybody's premiere, who's already hit premiere, you can go to the Amsterdam Leadership, which is the first weekend of October. It's an awesome event if any of you can make it. Failing that, it's available for anybody. Business training is the first weekend of November. I can't remember the dates clearly. My brain's gone for dates tonight. But it's the beginning of November, the Friday. I can't remember. Someone will have it. Friday in... I can look. Let me be organised for that. Got September open. Ding, ding, ding. Right, here we go. Oh, the 1st of November. So that's a business training for anybody doing the business, and you can invite new builders along to that too. It would really benefit them, and obviously then in turn that would benefit you. So that's in Northampton, and it's followed by a tour date the next day. I would say, for me personally, if you can only do one thing, go to the business training. It will benefit your business a lot more than going to the tour dates. If you have a tour date near you, obviously go along and listen. It would be a brilliant evening. I know there's quite a lot dotted around over the coming months. And then obviously Emily and Tim have got their team convention coming up in January, on the 4th of January. I hope I've got that date right. Yeah, Saturday the 4th of January. And that will be in southwest London where they live. So put those dates in your diary as well, and hopefully, I mean, go to all of them if you can, but hopefully at least come along to some of them. They'll be brilliant. And 90% of you have got Rome tickets, right? This is exciting. Moving forwards into the new year, I'm excited. Yeah, it's going to be really good. Okay, and what else did I want to say? Yes, the other thing I wanted to say on my list was about booking in fairs and events. And now is the time to really think about booking in any Christmas events that people, be going on in your local areas. And again, maybe it's not going to be the greatest, thing you've ever done for your business in doTERRA, but you just never know who you're going to meet. And it could mean that little bit of missing volume that you are missing for a rank advancement could come along quite nicely from it. So you just never know. And I personally am booking in quite a few at the moment for November and December. I'm missing all the chat. It's going on. I'm like,
just looking at your chat.
I can't see it. I can't multitask. There's chat going on in the background.
Someone's just put, where do you find fairs? I suppose you just go online and you look at local events in your area. I mean,
join local Facebook groups, things like that, in schools, communities.
I just signed up to like some I think it was called Babies Bumps Fairs or something. Babies Bumps and Beyond Fairs. It's like £35. I've got obviously do them now, but it was like £35 for each fair. It's very cheap. There's loads of little fairs like that around that you can. And at Christmas, there's even more fairs you can get involved with.
Yeah, and you just never know who you're going to meet, do you?
No, we've met people
never.
at the local church fairs that are now doing the for business as well.
Mm.
So
Mm.
Local school fairs that cost nothing, they can be really successful because people are looking for things to buy, and you can kind of tie in what you're sharing. Oils make the perfect Christmas presents anyway, don't they? Because you can use them all year round, and obviously you can make gifts with them as well. And then obviously there are the big fairs too, and as Charlie said, Nathan and Rebecca found me at a fair, and I think the very same day that I met them, they also met Vanessa Woosley, who's also one of their diamond leaders. So that was a fair, that was well spent money for them. So, you know, that's the thing. If you don't put yourself out there, you're definitely not going to meet someone if you're at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're out there, you just don't know. And, you know, we've had a few people come back to us in the last week saying, oh, I met you at this fair, I'd like to host a class. And that was several months ago. So you just never know when those seeds are going to start to sprout. And when you meet people, remember, you'll get them on your mailing list, and then you're forever connected.
yeah, remember when you get their email that they comply to actually give you their email.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that that's, you know, there, and you just basically, you know, ask them, say, do you want some information about the oils? That means you can send them some information straight away via email. Ask them if they don't mind being on your newsletter, and just say to them, people get a bit scared of newsletters. Just say, oh, it's just me doing the newsletter at home. Just, you know, if I remember to do it, so they feel like they're not going to be hassled by your emails. Then generally always say yes, that's fine. And then you've got their details. Always get their details. Never give them yours, or you can as well. You always go. They never get back to you. Just always make sure you get the details of the people.
Yeah, often you'll get up and I take a card, and I always say, I haven't got any cards with me today, but if you're happy to share your details, I'll send you some information, and then you're connected with me if you ever want to ask any questions or need anything in the future. And you're not going to get bombarded with emails or anything like that. We're doing the bop.
I just need to go. My little kit's just shouting me. I'll be 2 seconds.
No,
I'm on solo bedtime tonight.
We're done.
Just
It'll be 2 seconds.
To say, how do you get people on your mail list? Yeah, I mean, we have a link now where we get people to add their details digitally, that our assistant helped us with, but you can actually purchase apps where they add in their details into an app. But you don't need to do that. You can just have a pen and paper, or create just a spreadsheet print off that you take name, telephone number, and then preferred mode of contact, you know, or it could be telephone number, email address. And then I often have on sheets, you know, what are you most interested in? So it could be host a class. H stands for host a class, W stands for webinar, L stands for live class. And you say, which one would you prefer, or which of these would interest you? And then I'll usually say, and would you like to receive my newsletter so you can receive oil education and information? And if they say yes, then that's fine, isn't it? They've or, you know, ask them to tick that box if they're interested in receiving free, you know, emails from you. And we always like to say to them, you're not going to be bombarded, because I think people are a little bit afraid of that these days, aren't they?
Yeah.
But, you know, making sure that you do send a monthly email is really important, because I often get people getting back to me and I don't even realise they're receiving them because they're just on my mail list. So, yeah. So we've got some other exciting news as well for you guys, haven't we? That we wanted to share.
We're pregnant. No, we're not. No, joking. It's joking.
Go on.
No, we're fighting up. No. So,
yeah.
The oils are very healing.
Yeah, they're very good. We were chatting to Kathy yesterday or the day before, and a lot of teams throughout Europe and out the world have done this before, and we thought we would put it to you guys and see whether it would be something that we could create a bit of energy within your team to sort of, you know, push everyone forward a little bit. We were thinking it would be a good idea, or to try and, as a team, try and get to Diamond in October. Okay, that obviously means Kathy would be Diamond, and you guys would all be rank advancing as well. And the way this is powerful is if everyone's working together a little bit harder on the same month, and then you all rise up together, there's a chance that overall that can get you as a diamond team.
Well, absolutely, because actually you guys, you're totally rocking it, and you are very close as a diamond team, basically. And so we would, you know, it would be wrong of us as leaders to not tell you this and get you excited about it, because as you know, in this business, it's not just about one person. It's not just about Kathy. It's not just about you. It's about everybody, and it's about us all rising up together. You know, we often use the term "a rising tide lifts all boats," and it's so the case. And you know, this was the case with us when our uplines, Nathan and Rebecca, wanted to move forward. We moved forward with them, and it helped us. And you know, the closer that your upline is to diamond, the closer you are to diamond. So we wanted to put this to you because I know that a lot of other leaders, when they feel that the time is right, then they'll mention it to their team as a collective and say, okay, who's in? Who wants to go for this together? Who wants to do this? And of course, that has to be up to you, and it has to feel good for you, and you don't have to do it at all. But if collectively as a team, you really want to stick together and hold hands and go for this, then we believe that October could be the time for you guys. And
this is going to be our 4th October month, and October generally is probably one of the best months of the year.
Yeah.
Of volume wise, whether there's an offer or not is irrelevant. The October is always a good month, so it seems to be the right month to do it. So it just means maybe, you know, trying to get that extra class or trying to host a couple of extra classes, you know, just that if every single person just did that little bit more, as a team, we'd rise up together.
Type in your comments, guys, like if you've got questions.
And, you know,
how do you feel? Do you feel like this is for you? Would you like to support Kathy in getting to diamond and being part of a diamond team?
What this means as well is Kathy then would be on a diamond committee, yes, which would mean you could just say to Kathy all these things and she could take them directly to the leaders, and she could get your voices heard even more than what we can, because she's closer connected to you. So it makes you very strong as a team. And we need some more diamond leaders in the UK.
Definitely.
And
we want to put you guys on the map. Like, all of you guys, your voices need to be heard. People need to see you. You know, you have a beautiful, beautiful team, and what Kathy's created and what you're all part of, like, you're amazing, and we want to share you with everyone. And we just feel very strongly, energetically, that this might be your time. And it doesn't matter if you don't get there, it doesn't matter. But, you know, it's like saying, if you reach for the moon, you fall short, you hit the stars. Think how much further forward
like that
might be just by giving this a go.
Yeah.
And as Tim said, October is notoriously a very strong month. We know that BOGOs will be coming up, either October or November, okay? It could be October. So it really could be a fantastic opportunity to make this happen and see.
You guys, you know how good we are at BOGOs, right? I'm sure we have the record.
Well,
we smashed it.
Absolutely. You were amazing. And I think that you definitely could. I've got a nice document that I'll share with you, Kathy, about how to rock BOGO week, which has got some really nice ideas that you could share with your team. I've also got a nice document that I got from the Diamonds and Blue Diamonds about how people get volume in the last week of a month when they're going for rank. Because you have to remember that when you want to go for a rank, that you do need to give it that extra push. It won't just happen, you know, and that's why we've come on today to see if you want to support this. You want to help support you guys getting to be a diamond.
Before you joined on, we were discussing about how, as individuals, we're part of a team, and how, you know, for example, if somebody on the call on the team wants to reach the rank of Premier, for example, it's your job to absolutely know exactly what volume you're short, where it's short, who on that downline might host, have you got a builder on that downline, what help might they need, and things, and what can you do to generate that extra volume as well. and it's just, and then that can ripple throughout. And that's the whole beauty of this, is that, you know, if we're all doing it at the same time and all firing at the same time, I think really, really good things happen.
Yeah.
And we show that every Boggo week.
Yeah.
We're amazing, all of us.
So some of you guys were asking Kathy about another business opportunity webinar. So what we
Yes. Oh yes.
could do as well is to do one of these in September. We just need to find a date. I wanted to wait till after convention, so we've got the new, you know, the new statistics and what doTERRA's
Yeah.
I know there's going to be some really exciting announcements, so let's just wait for that, and then we'll do one, but just for your team, okay, just for you guys, and that will mean that anyone that comes onto that call, you want to try and get them going. You'd be daft to say I want to do the business, but I'm going to wait till January when you've got these 3 great months coming up. So you say to them, do some classes with you in October. Again, that's going to boost your chance of rank advancing as well. So yeah, there's lots of ideas like that.
I think what Kathy said about knowing what you need is really important. So like, if you're in and you want to support this, then you need to speak with Kathy or your upline and work out, you know, what you can do to help and be part of this, and to kind of, you know, move yourself forwards as well. Like how much volume you might need, and then from there you can work out what you need to do. And you know, it just might be, like Tim said, adding a couple of extra classes in if you can. I read something really powerful the other day, and it was just about, you know, sending a message out to some people, you know, saying, I've set myself a challenge of teaching 10 classes in October. Will you support me and host a class for me? I think that's a really lovely, honest way of asking somebody, you know, to support you and host a class. And, you know, it's not hard to get hosted classes, actually. I wasn't feeling very well yesterday, and I ended up, I was actually in bed for most of the day, which is not like me. You know, I must have not been feeling well because I'm not very good at stopping, but I was good, and I listened to my body, and I stayed in bed. But I still, you know, I had my phone with me, I had little Indy, we had lots of lovely snuggles all day, and I still managed to send my newsletter from my bedroom. But I did send a couple of messages to people that sprang to mind, because I had that time to think, and I think I got 2 hosted classes just from being in bed, you know. So it's easy to just send a couple of messages out and people come back and go, yeah, that's fine, actually, I'd really like that. So, you know, just think about the people that you could perhaps connect with and do it and see what comes back. And that's the sort of mindset that you need to try and move forwards in.
Yeah. And something Joe has got a really good system of the chicken list. I'm sure other people will do it as well, but I know it's like the people who you're chicken about contacting, and then making yourself contact them. And like, I've got people on a chicken list for sure.
I am.
That's the thing. Even if you don't, if this doesn't happen as a team, you will still have progressed and grown and learned. And this journey is all about growth and learning. It's not actually about the goal. It's not actually about the destination. It's about what you learn in the process. And so that's why it would be a great thing for you guys to do regardless of the outcome.
Yeah, and how powerful would it be for you guys, you know, for Kathy to be speaking maybe at our convention or whatever we're calling it in January, and explaining that you've got together as this great team and you rose up together. How powerful would that be for you guys?
I also just want to add in there, Kathy, you said it's Tim and Emily's event in January, and I just need to correct you all because it's everybody's event in January. You're all doing this just as much as we are.
Yeah.
So I'm correcting you.
Sorry.
Comments. Just love a pogo, like pogo stick.
We don't know.
I can't see the comments.
Oh, look at this! Amazing. This is so exciting. Thank you, everybody. You're an amazing team. Yes. Flipping love it. Love this. Go, Kathy. All of you. Like, this is exciting. So we're going to try and support you as much as we can. But the best thing to do is to sort of work out what you need to do, and work out the things that you might need to do, and then, you know, reach up, and we'll do as much as we can to support you guys. because we're proud of you and we want to share you. We want the world to
it's so good. It's so good. Thank you. I think it's safe to say that we're all excited.
Good.
Yes,
Good. We are.
amazing. What a great response. What a great response. You couldn't ask for more than that. So,
No, I think I was saying at the beginning of the call, I was talking to Tara today, who many of you love and know from our team. She's not on tonight because she's travelling back. And she's an energy healer, and she was saying about a huge energy shift going on at the moment. And I just kind of put it down to having like fizzy nerves, but I think that's what it is. I think it's something's really changing. It's exciting times.
These things sometimes to make them happen. Otherwise, you know, the universe needs to feel that energy from you, and hopefully it will give it back.
Exactly. Oh, bless you. Thank you for coming on, you two, three. You three.
But also, let's do this again, like to check in with each other, because that's sometimes we all need to hold each other accountable a little bit, to know where we're at, and like, okay, what needs to happen, how are we getting on, and just to keep each other excited, and just to have that connection. So, you know, Kathy will I'm sure keep you guys updated on what might need to happen,
and we will get a date in for doing the biz chat. So it's just to reiterate, it'll be for anybody on our downline who's got people interested or asking questions about the business who haven't decided yet. Then there will be a welcome. So yes, it will be before the end of this month, but after the US convention. So like Tim said, we can
utilize figures.
Get the figures.
Just so you know, to be a diamond, you need to have 4 silvers. Okay, that's 4 silver legs. That's what Kathy needs to be a diamond.
Jenny keeps asking what it is you need, what I need, and just to put it into context, I've got one silver who's nearly gold, who's going gold soon.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. It's not just about hitting silver, is it? This is your time to hit gold now. You know who you are. Looking all coy there. And the other 3 of my legs are all premiers. So it's all there to play for, Jenny.
You know,
do you not have silvers? Do you not have silvers further down in your legs that you can rank off though, Kathy?
I do, but they're not mine to rank from. So it's okay. That's how it is.
Rolled, not sponsored.
Yeah, you can only rank for the people that you wouldn't do.
You have to have personal enrollment, so yeah.
Yeah, okay, sorry, I'd forgotten that part. Yeah.
Right.
From it, but you can't
If it was that was the case, I mean, gosh, doTERRA would be a really different business.
But you know, everything is in place for Kathy to achieve this. In fact, there has been a few months this year where, you know, you could argue you've been fairly close, haven't you?
Yes.
It hasn't just quite come together, but it's been very close anyway, naturally. So I think with a push, we think we could get very close.
And you're definitely, out of our team, you guys are closest, and that's why we wanted to come to you first. So I think
come on, let's see some arms in the air.
I think I know a lot of you have commented on the chat, but please can you let Kathy know, because we don't want to put pressure on anyone that's doesn't want to do this. That's okay too.
Yeah, but if you totally.
It's good for Kathy to know, so she knows.
And I said at the beginning as well, before you came on, you know, if you want to go through, like if you look into this and, for example, like if you've got 3 legs and you've got 1 elite leg and 2 that are executive, and so you're looking to go for silver yourself, for example, and you want to go, right, how on earth do I fill those gaps, and you want to have that chat with somebody, just reach out, and either your upline or myself, or even Tim's an amazing expert at this. There's so much, you know, so many things. It's always really good to talk about it. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the thing is the reason why you need to work together, and why kind of Kathy needs you, but you all need each other, is because all the volume adds up, doesn't it? So it doesn't matter that you're not necessarily somebody that was enrolled by Kathy. Your volume will help towards that leg that is needed for you guys to be a diamond organisation. So it's all about everybody kind of working together, and Kathy's going to work really hard too.
Slightly nervous.
And
I'm not. I'm fine.
That's how it happens. And that's how this will be when you guys are going for diamond. It'll be exactly the same. And it's important that you understand the process so you can guide your teams when you're working towards this as well, because you've kind of been there yourselves, and again, it's all duplicable, and you will need their support when you're ready.
This is my little quote of the last few weeks. Is one of my really good doTERRA friends just hit diamond in July, first time, and I think she's one of the first diamonds in the UK this year, isn't she? Anyway, I just wanted to say she hit diamond in July just gone, and the July before she was Premier. So she went all the way from Premier, she hit silver a few months later, then gold, and then she skipped. She went from gold to diamond. So anything is achievable. It gives me goose pimples. I find that really, really inspiring and motivating because, you know.
It depends how much work you do, basically. And I know we're all busy people. So sometimes you can't do as much even as you want to do. And that's okay. But we can always do a little bit more, can't we? If it means enough to us. And
the idea as well is we're all trying to get a bit busier at the same time. So it all adds up at the same time. That's the kind of idea of it. So yeah, how exciting. And we'll go through it, Kathy, and you know, you can still be, if you can get close enough, you can get across the line. It really is possible to try and hit a new rank. We've got lots of ideas. Once we get within a few days, we can get you there. So just get as close as you can, and I'm pretty sure we can do it. So
yeah, and now that we know who's in, and that you guys, you know, from what it seems, most of you, if not all of you, want to go for this. Now we can work out more of a plan.
Yeah.
But we wanted to kind of talk to you about it first to see that you guys are cool with it and excited too.
Yeah, so we'll go through everything.
Yeah.
Can I just ask a question before you guys shoot off?
Right.
Hi. I mean, I'm beyond pumped for this. I'm totally in with big hands up. But I just have a slight concern, and it might be just me, which is why I just want to throw it to everybody. But with half term, I always struggle with the holidays. Does anybody else, or do you have any tips, or is it just me?
No, it you know, people do, or often that can be an excuse to make for ourselves, because I've done that too, because we think, oh my gosh, the kids are off school, or we think no one's around, or they're away. But actually, as Tim said, October is often one of the busiest, craziest months. And if there are BOGOs, that helps too. And BOGOs have sometimes fallen in half-term week as well, like great. So again, it's just about working out strategies of how you can incorporate this into your life in a doable way that is you know, going to be able to work around your family and work around your life.
When is your half term, Suze?
We get 2 weeks on the island.
Fancy.
I mean, lucky us in some ways, or unlucky, I don't know. Yeah, just this year. No, sorry. We from now on, we only get 5 weeks in the summer and 2 weeks at October half term.
Nice.
So it falls the last 2 weeks of October.
Yeah.
So it's
like Karina saying,
if it was 1 week, I think it would be different. But because it's 2, I already know that quite a lot of people go away.
Yeah.
So that's why I just wondered if anyone had any advice, really.
I think you just have, this business is real. Do you know what I mean? Like we do this because it's a business that we want to be around our families, and because we're creating a life for our families that we will benefit in future years to come. So it's about kind of like, realizing that we still have to do it around our families as much as we can, and try and get the message out there as much as we can. And if people are away, then that's okay, you know what I mean? But like, this is why preparation's really good. So just get yourself prepared now and think about what you can fit into October now. So maybe you might try and do a little bit more in the earlier months, earlier weeks of October, if that's the case for you.
The White Witch on the team's grinning really happily to herself. She has some really good classes at the end of October. Don't you, Karina?
It's probably one of my most successful parts of the year.
Potion classes, yeah.
Because we do potion workshops. And
Oh, what? Because of Halloween?
because of
Yeah,
Halloween,
she does all fancy dress and
whole
everything,
month.
don't you?
I
Yeah,
do. I
great
am
idea.
a witch in costume, and we do
Yeah.
take potions classes, which was one of the first classes I went to that Emily did. I love dressing up, so it's fun. And we can sometimes make diffuser bracelets. There's so many things you could do, but they
I'm
love it. The
homemade
kids
as well,
love
Sue.
it.
I'll do it with you.
I can see you being a witch, Sue. I'm
Or
sure
a skeleton.
it's in bars and slapping our thighs.
Oh, yeah. Back in the
I
day.
really enjoy it though. Actually, the potions one is where kids say to you, like, "Is it magic?" And you go, "Yes, it is magic," and they get so excited.
Yeah.
And
Joe,
everybody sits
Joe,
around
get
the
your witch
table.
outfit out.
Yeah, because
Yeah, and
the
there's
other
so
thing
many
On
ways
it.
you can use.
mums are looking for half-term activities, aren't they?
Yeah.
For their children?
There's one tip if you do it is make sure that the parents stay, because we had one class of 20 kids and the parents tried to sneak off and we were like, no, come back, because then
Yeah,
there's
and I think
insurance
the other
issues.
the other thing that you need to take into consideration with classes like that is people will come along and they'll think it's great, but it might not mean enrollment.
Yeah, you
have
need to turn it into a
how that happens, like whether or not they need to come to another class, or make sure that they're not going to get too much to take away with, because they'll tootle off with their little freebie and you might not hear back from them. So you need to factor in a way of actually turning that into enrollments, whether they get a free class or a free webinar, or you make sure you give the children an activity at the end, maybe that they can work on while you do the close with the mums, something like that. Because I remember that class, Karina, and I loved it, but I do remember it was also I needed to tweak the close because it got a bit crazy and fun.
I have been using a Lisa Zimmer handout, so it has all the details to enroll themselves if they're interested, and it's got a few notes of the top 10 oils in the middle as well, so they take that away with them. Yeah, and you can do little samples to take away, just like the 1 or 2 mils.
Perfect. And have you found that helped? Did that help, or did that work with enrollment?
Yeah, I have people coming back to more workshops because of those ones, and so it's a slower kind of line of sales, if you like, but they do come back. And it sort of starts people off quite nicely on that whole opening idea of what oils can do.
Yeah, it's a great starter in terms of getting the enrollments for October. Maybe think about together, like go through it, see if there's a way that you could actually see if it could encourage. I mean, actually, to be honest, if there's a bit of a promotion or something like that, or we could add in a freebie or something that they could take away, any small little gift that would encourage or incentivize them to sign up before the end of October, that might be a nice idea.
I think that's a great idea. Like Kathy, you mentioned about a diffuser, but I wondered does that not, if you offer a diffuser, does that then stop people buying the Home Essentials kit?
No, it's just for the host. Know, anybody can just, if I'm offering it out for anybody hosting a class in October and November, they get a free diffuser. Not anybody coming to the class, sadly. But I will. I was talking to Emily about it the other day, and I've already bought them some like little nice looking brown paper bags that I'm going to do up as host gifts to hand out to each class. And I'll have them there all lined up and say, anybody who books in a class tonight, you can take one of these host gifts home with you, and you'll also get something on the night. So it's just something to be a bit more formal about asking, because I do mention it at every class, and I am quite good at getting hosted classes, but I want to up the game with it.
Absolutely, and it's quite clever if you have a bag for the amount of people that are at the class, almost like they're ready for them to take away. I watched a nice training on how people are like, well, that's my bag and I'll book in my date. It's almost like that's what they do next, and they're all ready to take away their bag. It's almost like they think, well, that's my one, and then they'll go and, you know, if you have your diary with you, they may book in a class there and then. They have to book in the class there and then to take their little hosted gift away, and then they get the extra hosted gift, which is whatever you choose it to be, on the night of the hosted class as well. I mean, a diffuser is a lovely hosted gift, but it's expensive as well. So, you know, that might be too expensive.
What I said at the beginning, for me, I've just chosen to do it because of this intention for this period. It's not something I offer all the time. Definitely not. I did it 1 month last year at a similar time of year. It's just to get more classes, basically. And I said to the guys at the beginning of the call, I'm not telling you to do that. It's up to you to decide what you want to offer and what you can afford. It has to be. And so, for me.
I was chatting with Kat the other day. Sadly, she can't join tonight, but we thought that the cleaner concentrate is quite a nice gift because it doesn't cost tons and you can add your oils from the top 10 to it, and it's an extra £2 or whatever for the spray bottle, and it just sets them up ready going. Just an idea.
Like a little cleaning package.
Yeah.
For them.
And it's different to the home essentials, isn't it? Yeah, it's a nice idea.
Yeah. Or anything seasonal that ties in with kind of like Halloween or on the way to Christmas. It could be like a little make your own potpourri kit, or like a make your own Epsom salts. So like a little kit where they can create their own Christmas gift for somebody. Yeah. And it could include some salts, a kiln jar, and a little ribbon, and a wooden spoon, and a little sample of lavender oil, something like that. That's very hands-on and, you know, thoughtful, that they can be creative with even. So it doesn't have to cost a fortune.
Definitely.
Share ideas together. Like you guys, I think it's really important that you're very active on Kathy's group and you're interacting about your ideas and what you're doing and what's working and what's not, to, you know, to keep each other inspired. Keychains are really nice as well. They're cool. People like those because then you can say you can try some different oils that you don't have. And I give you a little sample for everyone who comes to the class. That sort of thing. You're
trying to get the most energy out of the class you've just created, rather than leaving it and trying to follow up later on. Because at the point where they're there, that's when you've got your best chance of being able to, you know, to get them, tie them down to something moving forwards. So whatever you share, it's about doing it at that moment in the class.
Everyone's saying that they love the Zimmer handout. So Karina, if you're cool to share that, sounds amazing.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's a really good handout. And the other thing, obviously, is obviously doTERRA, some months, not all months, they offer out like the Sally Bell for this month if you enroll. Whereas if there's not that kind of thing going on from doTERRA, don't forget, you know, you might want to offer out a wild orange or something as a incentive for enrollments that month. But you don't want to overload. It's always a very fine line, because you don't want to over incentivize and sort of devalue what we're doing and devalue the fact that they're going to get an amazing kit. But if a little bottle of wild orange tips them over the edge, then so be it.
And is October normally a really good promotion if it's such a good month?
It can be October or November. It changes year and year. Generally, December they tend to always do the frankincense, or they have done for the last 3 years, 200. But it's been in different months, so sometimes
it's not always a promotion. It's not always, especially if we've had one in September. But as we said,
but the volume's always high in October.
There's BOGOs sometimes.
I don't know whether it's people they get back on it in September. They start putting a bit, after the summer, and then they start to pay off in the October time. I don't know, but October seems to be a good month.
I think really,
and they bring out the Christmas stuff as well, which is right.
The Christmas products will be launched as well.
Yeah, like when last year, for example, when that little elephant diffuser. As you guys all know, I'm a sucker for numbers, but on that first day of the elephant release, my volume went up by 5,000. So it's just like crazy tiny things like that you don't think, but over a whole team, I'm sure you guys was 10 times more, but you know what I mean? On a whole team, it's such a big lift with just the release of one amazing cute diffuser that actually breaks after a year. No, it doesn't really.
And, I'm a member of the promotions committee, so I would say,
come on, tell us all, Emily. Tell us what's coming.
I'm in NDA, but I would go, just think about what we've said tonight, and I would go in with immune support as well for this time of the year, as well, thinking about some of the Christmas items that might be coming, like that winter warmers, all that sort of feel. And this is a perfect time of year for boosting our immune systems anyway, isn't it? Because, it's the time of year when people get ill, and mothers are going to want to look after their families as well. And so, we think October is definitely a good month to go for this. That's all we're saying.
Say no more. I love that. Okay. This is exciting.
Spoken about on the call.
Yeah. Right. So,
I love this, and thank you guys. Thank you.
Okay.
What Charlotte? Mine just, I don't know how I do it, but my chat just snips up for like 2 seconds and then goes.
Yeah.
And I get really like, oh, what's that? Oh, I can't read it.
Good gifts coming up. I believe so. I believe there's some.
And obviously the whole the news coming through from convention will start happening this week, which is exciting.
We're going to
yeah.
post on that stuff as well.
We're looking forward to your news programs.
Yeah.
We can't share our link because it means they've done it in a clever way now. So it means we'd have to give you all our back office details, which obviously we can't do. But we're going to share as much as we can with you, and let's all share it and raise the energy on the tribe, because it's really good that everybody feels excited and empowered and inspired about what's going on. So
Brilliant. Awesome. Amazing.
We're excited for you guys. Let's just try our best.
Talk to Kathy or your upline and just work out a plan and of action and see how you get on.
Yeah. And, as we said, it doesn't matter. It's not about the winning, it's the taking part, isn't it? And doing this and holding hands together. And it'll be the same for you guys.
Show you're a strong team. I've got every faith.
Your team.
We're the amazing team. That's what the name of our group is.
Yeah, and I tell you what, if we see you all at convention, I think all of us will be a flooding mess on the floor.
Oh, I will be. I'll be being sick in the corner.
and then, for you guys that are silver or going to be silver, you guys get to walk too. Imagine us all cheering you on. Like, how amazing will that be? So I love how in doTERRA the culture is to celebrate each other's successes. It's not just about one person.
And for those of you that get to Elite, Elite, there's going to be quite a few announcements coming up, but there's going to be Elite retreats starting in the UK next year.
Oh wow!
By Nathan and Bex. I don't even think they've announced that yet, but so just again keep that to yourselves. But that again will be for elites. So there's another achievement to hit that rank. So there's something in every rank. Let's just say that.
That's really exciting. The Elite retreats, I remember from when I first started, they were amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're
awesome. Great.
Okay.
Great stuff. Right, we've got loads to do. Let's go and crack on.
Write down, maybe if you have time tonight or maybe tomorrow, just and you want to go for this, maybe jot down a few plans of action yourselves and speak.
Let's all do our chicken list. I'm going to start. I'm going to ask my mum. She hates the oils, so I'm going to ring her now. But we'll start with that. Do our chicken list.
So you ring mum.
Yeah, ring her up now and ask her. Okay.
We love you all.
Love you all. Take care.
Bye.
Take care. Bye. Right. I don't even know what to say now. So, if any of you want to have a one-to-one, any questions, any plans you want to go through, then tell your uplines, and we'll book stuff in. I'm just about to go and be sick.
Are you on a PC, Kathy?
No, iPad.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because down the bottom you've got invite participants, share and chat, and then you can open up the chat box.
Oh,
But if you're an
I
iPad, I don't know. Just because you can't see all the lovely comments we've been saying about you, that's all.
I think once it's done, I can open it in a box. There's
Oh,
nothing quite like reading it as it's coming through. You lovely guys.
right, I better do this then.
Right, so this will start, hands in the air. This will start with, I'll share the recording of this. So for those of you guys with key people who haven't been able to make the call, make sure you share it with them or tag them, or I'll post it on our team page. And then, so we can share the message with them. And it's all about, it's really, I mean, it's not about me, it's about all of us all together. So, okay. I don't know what's going on. Someone's laughing on the chat.
I'm laughing at Karina's message.
What, Karina?
I said it's like a silent disco on the chat.
Totally is.
Because no one's talking, but we are really.
You're all secretly talking in the background. You all got like the best poker faces like that.
We'll have
It winding you up.
I spend half the time telling my dog off for just being a pain, that's why, so I have to mute myself.
Right. Okay, cool. So, okay, yeah, you're in the dark.
Well, we've got our work cut out now, so we've got to go and do our
Stop
homework.
recording. Hang on. Stop recording.